Good morning, everyone. So I decided to address something I would rather not, but it's one of those things where can it be used as some guidance or teaching? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. I want to begin with there was a time in true parents' lives where it came out, or it was rumored, or it was gossiped about that while true father was married, had an affair with another woman, and the result of it was a child, a boy. And so the rumors flew, well, is that really his child? Did he commit adultery? All right, that's, even at that time, and these were not poor people anymore, they can afford a paternity test, right? But it seems like there wasn't one done, because it never truly 100% came out, is that his son or not, right? The son says, his mother said yes, and tells a pretty grueling story on that. And again, I'm listening to all this and going, well, okay, we're hearing a lot on the outside, but proof could be very easily be had on the inside. How? Well, paternity test done. Right? Okay. I don't know. I have no idea if that was ever done or not. Nor do I, in a way, kind of go, hey, that's not my problem. Whose problem is that? That's true parents, their lineage, their thing, right? Yes? I said, yeah. There's just certain things that you step back on and go, I can't be a part of this discussion or anything. I do know what the supposed son, said, and I listened to that and I'm going, well, wow, that's hard to believe. That's really hard to believe. And it can't be proven anymore or disproved anymore because both of his parents now, are passed away. So, the stories are floating around out there about it all. Very easy. Could have been very easily just said, well, took a paternity test, sorry. Of course, I can see true father. If he's not the father, then someone else will be hanging on the gallows or something, or just going, okay, so what's more important, the truth? Or to hide things away? And let people decide over someone else's life and their restoration path, right? And meddle in your life, kind of thing. That's, to me, the divine principle, the teachings, the reason true parents are who they are hasn't changed for me, and it will not change. And if we're going through the Old Testament, as I'm doing it, then obviously we're seeing on how much just it went one way, then it went the other way, people not really talking to each other. That one goes and tells that one something, and then that one assumes immediately, okay, you hear me? Yeah. So the latest thing is these two boxers, both females, supposedly women, and, well, questionable if one of them is. Right? Okay. I've told this story before. I had a friend who's in spirit world as well, and has a nephew, that was born with both genders. On the outside. It happens, okay? And he asked me, while he was visiting with us, the family's really conflicted. The boy was about 3 years old at the time, or 4. We're really, the boy, see, really conflicted, the child, the family was, on to decide what are you going to keep on the outside, right? Yes, the look of a girl or the look of a boy. And I said, well, that shouldn't be too hard. What's on the inside? The science is all there. You can figure it out now. This isn't 500 years ago, where if that happens, well, what are you going to do? Well, first of all, was there the possibility of surgery, or did people like that, right, that had some extra going on their physical body, have a choice, right? Yeah? Yes? Hide their whole life. Kind of go with what people look at you like and go, yeah, you look more like a man. Yeah, you look more like a woman. Or how did you feel? In a sense, then it comes down to how you feel. That was a long time ago. Right? I could imagine if that happened, a baby like that born, it was automatically looked as a demon or something and probably didn't even make it past infancy. Just saying. From what I hear, what they do to women and their babies, okay, I'm just saying, oh gosh, in the Bible, that long ago. And I told my friend, I said, well, look on the inside, what's there? And he told me, I said, well, sounds like a boy. No uterus. And, the chromosome tells you, okay, well, it's meant to be a boy. On the inside, the science will tell you it is a boy. On the outside, you get to choose, but the inside will tell you what you are. We have that now. There's no mystery involved in it anymore. So, with that one boxer who's a woman, where the parents decided at a young age, at little, we want a girl. They didn't care what was on the inside, didn't think, the doctors didn't either. Okay, just saying. And so they went with what they wanted, not necessarily what was the best for their baby. I don't know. I wasn't there. Now there's this controversy going on with, well, yeah, on the outside, it's everything, just about physically, points to a woman. Yes? Maybe? All right. I don't know. I mean, but on the inside, sounds to me like, little by little is coming out, it's actually a man. So what to do? And now there's this conflict of strength. Anyway, it wouldn't be. There's stories floating around out there, and in a way that people have taken camps on one side or the other, to me is absolutely ridiculous. Yes? And I'm almost thinking, in the way I'm looking, as I said, we have the science to prove if this is a man or a woman, regardless on what the outside looks like. The inside is what it is. But again, we're getting all these different stories. Well, wait a minute. Well, why are you telling this story? And it's all supposedly, maybe, da-da-da-da. Well, why are you saying that? And then these guys are saying this. Completely two different stories. Nobody has their ducks in a row. Or say, well, we've got to wait. We need to wait, right, and go the proper way. No, you know what it has turned into? Excuses. Trying to cover all their bases now. Well, if I'm not sure what, again, the truth can be had very easily. And if it is the case that no, there are no XY chromosomes, it's a XX. No, there is everything there that a woman has. The little extra testosterone that, this one has, exists in other women as well. Well, fine. Well, if it's the other way, then it's a woman. Done. can have babies, right? Menstruates, yes. Well, I'm just saying, right? Has PMS, right? Yeah? Okay. Well, and some people have brought up, on that camp, in our case, well, she has breasts. Yeah, very little. Right? And again, right, what have people done to get breasts? Men who want to be women, what do? You can just take some extra estrogen then, right? I'm just saying, grow little boobies. Okay, just saying. I don't know. Did she do that? He do that? She wants to be a she. She identifies as a girl, was raised as a girl. Okay, but has the strength of what? Possibly a man. If it turns out, nope, there is XY chromosomes, no uterus. It is what it is. On the outside, yes, but on the inside, and your inside determines your strength, your abilities for certain things. Right? Yes? Okay, just saying. So, here are both sides. Yet people are yapping at each other over things they don't know, because we're not being told 100%. But 100% is absolutely available out there. Just saying. Then here's the other thing. Okay, so the other boxer. I'm going, well, if you're training to be a boxer, right? Yes? I mean, we're not talking Muhammad Ali here, right? In the ring with this other woman. We're talking, okay, all right, whatever. And I'm going, man, as a woman in boxing, I would say you're probably more agile than a man. Right? Yes? I don't know. I'm just saying. And, you want to be a boxer as a woman, you got to be a pretty tough cookie, don't you? I'd say. And here, this woman is letting herself be hit in the face, right, twice. So if there wasn't this controversy, is this actually a woman or not, she's fighting against, and she gets hit twice. How do you get, in the first minute, hit twice in the face so easily? This is not amateur stuff. These are professionals. I'm just saying. You get tired later in the ring, and it goes on. I could see you being a little less careful about protecting your face. Come on now. Okay, just saying. But here it is with all that. I can say that from a standpoint where I know I'm a woman. I'm not going to compete with guys out there. I'm just not. I know full well my limitations, and I am not going to try. Okay? Remember the story I told about that swimmer, the woman, yes? And why she did that and how it was looked at and all that? Right? Okay. I am not a woman that needs equality with men out there. Fairness in certain situations where husband and wife, for example, right? Yeah, I want to see equality there. I don't care what anybody says. Still, I know where my place as a wife and a mother and a grandmother is, regardless. Okay? All right. But here, it's like, I wonder what some of the men, our soldiers in the military, think when they see that and go, yeah, and yet you want to be in combat with us, next to us, and yet we have to acknowledge you're much weaker physically than we are. Which then makes us as men who want to take responsibility for what? Women, more vulnerable with women next to us. I'm just saying. I know there are amazing women soldiers out there, but isn't this a good example? Look at Elu here. This isn't a sport where, this is a sport where, okay? And here, fighting against men now, and that's what you do in the war too, don't you? You're the other side, are they going to care if you're a man or a woman? Just saying. And here now, I'm saying going, well, what do you women want out there? This is a great example of, hey, let's learn from this. Women aren't stronger than men. Women can't even win against someone that's very questionable. What are you actually? Well, the inside will tell us. Don't you think that's interesting? This whole hullabaloo, right? Yes? And on how, I have no doubt now, even family members within are conflicted or divided on who to support or who to rave against. Weird one to me. Absolutely weird. Where are all the feminists out there now? All them women yapping, and men, for equality for women. That we're all equal in every part of what I think this is a great example on how, no. Men are the stronger part in mankind when it comes to men and women. And there always will be. It's interesting that, when it comes to competitions like that, the men pretending to be women, or in this case, is it a man or is it a woman? Proves that every time. And then people are all up in arms about it. You as women, you want to be equal out there. Well then, you're going to have to get as strong as the men. Compete with the men. I guess. Do I think that's fair? No, I don't. But look at the division that's going on out there now. Because over something that, all we're getting is whatever is on the surface. And people are just going with that rather than, I don't have enough information here to say anything. Really, when it comes down to it, all I can do is question everyone. Hey, but hasn't anybody, don't you have enough doctors there that can say, well, let's get this checked out? If that matters. Now it suddenly matters. I'm just saying, right? It's a weird one. I'm not going to form an opinion until I'm given, the 100% truth. And for some reason, that's not available. It isn't. And, okay, one more time. The women boxer, the one that is 100% we know a woman, it's a bit embarrassing to watch her break down like that after, okay, as I said, that's a professional boxer at the Olympics. Train for it. Well, you can't duck. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah. If you get hit by obviously someone like this, okay, supposedly a woman, well, what about the other women that are boxing there too? Well, they probably will be able to hit her in the face too. I mean, I'm just saying, there is a action happening before the punch lands. And, well, are you good enough to get out of the way? In the first 60 seconds where you're still fresh and energy, you should be able to. Don't you think? I'm just saying, I don't know much about boxing or anything. But of course, growing up with a father that loved boxing and at a time where Muhammad Ali was still, yes, and all that. And hey, I watched enough of this stuff to kind of go, well, how could you be hit twice in the face so easily? I don't care if it's a man or a woman standing in front of you, if you've trained for so long. Just saying. So maybe there's a little bit more going on there as well. Don't know. I don't know. But I'm putting that out there. So my suggestion with all of this, first of all, I've never really watched the Olympics much. I'm not a big fan. I don't do I need to be? Right? Yeah, there's some things that I like to watch, like the gymnastics or the ice skating. Yeah. And little of that. That's about it. I don't watch anything else of it. Yes. And even if I do that, it's usually 3 years later that I come across a little clip going, that was supposedly really good. Let's see that. Right? Yeah. So when it comes down to it, I don't want to meddle. I don't want to have an opinion regardless, because that's not my place either. But it's sad to see on how the views on these videos where people have these opinions, though they don't know. All they know is what's on the surface. But the proof could be very easily be had. And not once have I heard anyone say, well, let science decide. And then, does it really matter? I don't know. In a sport like that, I guess it does. I could get further into it, but I don't want to. I think it's just too doggone silly. So do I think that men should compete or pretend to be women, or this is kind of a little bit of a special case, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. It should be addressed as that. Yes. Mm-hmm. But do I think that's right? They should be doing that? Well, again, I'm not on the committee of these decision-making committees when it comes to all that. I'm not there. I don't know how their mind works, or how their mind works, or what they want out of the Olympics. I don't know. I have no idea. That's not there. I don't know that either. That's there. That's why there are committees like that, and they make the decisions. And then if they make the decision, and it's anonymous, then unanimous, then that's what it is, and everybody's going to have to go with that, right? Or don't go compete. Yeah, people can make their own choices when it comes to all that. The Olympics isn't just the only place to go and compete in sports, right? Yes. Then again, you have to ask yourself, why am I in sports? Why am I competing? Just ask it. So I'm not going to go and meddle. Don't want to meddle. What I'd like to give here is, we could have the truth very easily. The science is there to let us know exactly what's going on inside that woman. Is that going to make her a woman as well? Or is the inside of her giving her the strength of a man? Anyway. So, let's get going here. Yes, we're also getting a lot of surface stuff here, again, and very little on what's going on the inside. Yes? The truth is masked by however the behavior of the people can be excused, especially when it comes to the Israelite. And the bad guys always who? Okay, just saying. All right. Let's get going here. We're in the first book of Maccabees. I apologize if I offended anyone by saying what I had to say. Okay. These are just my observations. What is sad to me is the divisions that are happening, rather than the people say, we can't comment on that, we're not taking sides, give us the whole story. And that can be easily had. Okay. Or, what do you got to hide? I'm just saying. So I apologize if I offend anyone with my own observations and opinions. Yes, opinion about it all, and the way I look at it, and the way I process it myself. Right? Yes, the solutions to all this that's not on my plate. I'm just an outsider of all that. But maybe that's what's needed a little bit. Someone that looks from the outside in and goes, hey guys, what are you doing? This is very easily, you can prove this. And then you have to make a decision on if that is allowable or not. Is that fair or not? Yes. Then look at the rest of the social structure and go, well, okay, just saying. On what people want out there, what women want out there. Yeah. That's good. Good. Things come to the surface, certain other things, and then one can start to, what? Yes? Oh, wait a minute. We gotta get back on track here. Yes? All right. First book of Maccabees 3. Super chapter, Judas Maccabeus, leader of the Jews. Judas Maccabeus. So it's Judas is also Maccabeus. 166 to 160. 6 years only before Christ. The Eulogy of Judas. The eulogy of Judas Maccabeus. The eulogy? A eulogy is what? Okay, that's a new one. That's my coffee turning off. His son, Judas, known as Maccabeus, then took his place. Okay, after the death of Maccabaeus. All his brothers and all who had attached themselves to his father supported him, and they fought for Israel with a will. He extended the fame of his people. Like a giant, he put on the breastplate. Okay, this is like a little, I don't know, prose, they call it, made to him. And buckled on his war harness. He engaged in battle after battle, protecting the ranks with his sword. He was like a lion in his exploits, like a young lion roaring over its prey. He pursued and tracked down the renegades. He consigned those who troubled his people to the flames. The renegades quailed with the terror he inspired. All evildoers were utterly confounded, and deliverance went forward under his leadership. He brought bitterness to many a king and rejoicing to Jacob by his deeds. His memory is blessed forever and ever. He went through the towns of Judah, eliminating the irreligious from them and diverted the retribution from Israel. My children, be resolute. No. Sorry. Just went to the top of the page. We're not there. His name resounded to the ends of the earth. He rallied those who were on the point of perishing. Okay. Initial successes of Judas. Next, Apollonius mustered the Gentiles and a large force from Samaria to make war on Israel. Well, now see how this is in here again? What did we just read here? Sounds to me like, okay, well, was Judas Maccabeus, was he on the defense or is he on the offense now? So then here it says that we're going to make war on Israel. Well, wait a minute, wasn't Israel kind of in a way? Okay, so though Judas Maccabeus, that's just a rebellious group of people, bandits, right? Robbers, bandits going through the land. Of course, with the best intentions, under the guidance of God, kind of, I guess. All right. To what? Protect their own people. Okay, maybe it was like that. But the thing is, right, they made many a king kind of go, oh my gosh, what's going on now? And so they rally and go, well, we got to go against them. Well, now, who's on the offense and who is on the defense? But they're making it sound here like that Samaria, Apollonius, is on the offense. But that's not true. That's not true. Right? Yes? Well, but there's a reason for it. Yeah, I get that. But why not write it down properly? In a way, here again, how am I supposed to think? Oh, the poor Israelites getting attacked again. Wait a minute, you've been attacking everybody. We're not getting enough here. We're just getting what will keep steering us in the direction of what? Yes? Yeah. When Judas learned of it, he went out to meet him and routed and killed him. Just like that. Many fell wounded, and the survivors took to flight. Their spoils were seized, and the sword of Apollonius was taken by Judas, who used it to fight with throughout his life. On hearing that Judas had raised a mixed force of believers and seasoned fighters, oh, that's interesting. Saron, commander of the Syrian troops, said, I shall make a name for myself and gain honor in the kingdom if I fight Judas and those supporters of his who are so contemptuous of the king's orders. So here's another guy. Okay, who cares which side he's on? Who's doing what for what? What's the reason? Yes? Oh my gosh. He therefore launched another expedition with a strong army of unbelievers to support him in taking revenge on the Israelites. He had nearly reached the descent of Beth Horon when Judas went out to confront him with a handful of men. But as soon as these saw the force advancing to meet them, they said to Judas, how can we, few as we are, engage such overwhelming numbers? We are exhausted as it is, not having had enough to eat today. It is easy, Judas answered, for a great number to be defeated by a few. Indeed, in the sight of heaven, deliverance, whether by many or by few, is all one. For victory in war does not depend on the size of the fighting force. Heaven accords the strength. They are coming against us in full-blown insolence and lawlessness to destroy us, our wives and our children, and to plunder us. But we are fighting for our lives and our laws. Pull the children and the women into it. This is, gosh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And he will crush them before our eyes. Do not be afraid of them. When he had finished speaking, he made a sudden sally against Saron and his force and overwhelmed them. Judas pursued them down from Beth Horon as far as the plain. About 800 of their men fell, and the rest took refuge in the country of the Philistines. Judas and his brothers began to be feared, and alarm seized the surrounding peoples. His name even reached the king's ears, and among the nations there was talk of Judas and his battles. Never heard of this dude before, but okay. You wonder. So there is this other guy what was his name now? Sarah, commander of the Syrian troops, who says, let's go against him, right? We go against him. And it says, it lets us know that these are unbelievers and this and that, I don't know what. And he has had this mixed, right? Let's see if I'm saying this right. Maybe not. And I want to say this right. No, I can't find it now. Where did that go? We're being let know that these are all unbelievers, lawlessness, they're lawless, this and that. Okay, I wonder on how many people actually joined this guy that had a boy being maimed that may have grown up now when it came to Maccabees in his band of people, right? When they said, "Oh, we're gonna make," right? Were they all unbelievers at the time? Again, what am I being actually told here? Also, that now Judas, so feared, right? So he had fewer people. Give me the amount of people exactly. How many people did Judas have? They're so detailed. Otherwise, fighting against how many? The 800 that fell. Okay, 800 is not that much. We've read thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers, right? Not that many. Then the few. Okay, so how many were there? A little band. So how much is it? Couple hundred? Oh, okay. You know, when you become so brutal, okay, as to what did Judas see his father do? I have no doubt that Judas was even more brutal, right, and unforgiving than his father. Yeah, that gives you great strength. It really does. Where you don't care and you just plow into people. That's true. But anyway, so there it is. But we need to know that, I guess I would say if they would have not hurt their own people in the way that they did, I'd say they could have been great champions of warriors, this and that. But I'm not looking at it. I hear too many other things out of it. Do you know what I mean? And the 1,000 that were put in the desert that were all slaughtered on the Sabbath day, that was because of Maccabeus and his bandits. Yeah. Just saying. Okay. But I wasn't there either, so I have no idea. Really, I'm just reading what they're giving me, and I'm going, that's not enough for me. And on either side, it's not enough for me to draw any kind of conclusion or be taught or be led to one side or the other. Not enough for me. I have to take a step back and again look at the laws, the heavenly laws, and say, does this all compute? Antiochus prepares to invade Persia and Judea, regency of Lysias. The news of these events infuriated Antiochus, and he ordered mobilization of all the forces in his kingdom, a very powerful army. Opening his treasury, he distributed a year's pay to his troops, telling them to be prepared for any eventuality. He then found that the money in his coffers had run short and that the tribute of the province had decreased as a result of the dissension and disaster brought on the country by his own abrogation of laws that had been enforced from antiquity. He began to fear that, as had happened more than once, he would not have enough to cover the expenses and the lavish bounties he had previously been accustomed to make on a larger scale than his predecessors on the throne. In this grave quandary, he resolved to invade Persia, there to levy tribute on the provinces and so accumulate substantial funds. He therefore left Lysias, a nobleman and member of the royal family, to manage the royal affairs between the river Euphrates and the Egyptian frontier, making him responsible for the education of his son Antiochus. until he should come back. To him Antiochus made over half his forces, with the elephants giving him instructions about what he wanted done, particularly with regard to the inhabitants of Judea and Jerusalem, against whom he was to send a force to crush and destroy the power of Israel and the remnant of Jerusalem, to wipe out their very memory from the place, to settle foreigners in all parts of their territory, and to distribute their land into lots. The king took the remaining half of his troops with him and set out from Antioch, the capital of his kingdom, in the year 147. He crossed the river Euphrates and made his way through the upper provinces. Okay. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about all them kings and upper ones and this and that and all the stuff they're doing for one thing or another. It's so tiring. But it sounds the same as this doesn't sound any different than from what Judas Maccabeus did. No difference to me. Sounds both the same, really, when it comes down to it. Gorgias and Nicanor lead the Syrian army into Judea. Lysias chose Ptolemy, son of Doramenus, with Nicanor and Gorgias, influential men from among the friends of the king, and under their command dispatched 40,000 foot and 7,000 horse to invade the land of Judah, and devastated as the king had ordered. The entire force set out and reached the neighborhood of Emmaus in the lowlands, where they pitched camp. The local merchants, hearing the news of this, arrived at the camp, bringing with them a large amount of gold and silver, and feathers as well, proposing to buy the Israelites as slaves ahead of time. They were accompanied by a company from Idumea and the Philistine country. Judas and his brothers saw that the situation was going from bad to worse, and that armies were camping in their territory. Wait a minute. Judas and his brothers saw that the situation was going from bad to worse? I thought they were doing so well. Oh, now we're gleaning a little bit of I'm just saying. Now the fairy tale starts. Yeah. They were also well aware that the king had ordered the people's total destruction. So they said to each other, "Let us restore the ruins of our people and fight for our people and our sanctuary." The assembly was summoned to prepare for war, to offer prayer, and to implore compassion and mercy. Jerusalem was as empty as a desert, none of her children to go in and out. The sanctuary was trodden underfoot. Men of an alien race held the citadel, which had become a lodging for Gentiles. There was no more rejoicing for Jacob. The flute and lyre were mute. The Jews muster at Mitzpah. After mustering, they made their way to Mitzpah, opposite Jerusalem, since Mitzpah was traditionally a place of prayer for Israel. That day they fasted and put on sackcloth, covering their heads with ashes and tearing their garments. For the guidance that the Gentiles would have sought from the images of their false gods, they opened the book of the law. They also brought out the priestly vestments with first fruits and tithes, and marshaled the Nazarites who had completed the period of their vow. Then, raising their voices to heaven, they cried. What is that? What does that have to do with the Nazarites? This is conveniently thrown in there. What shall we do with these people, and where are we to take them? Your holy place has been trampled underfoot and defiled. Your priests mourn in their humiliation. And now the Gentiles are in alliance to destroy us. You know what they have in mind for us. How can we stand up and face them if you do not come to our aid? Then they sounded the trumpets and raised a great shout. Next, Judas appointed leaders for the people to command 1,000, 150, or 10 men. Those who were in the middle of building a house, or were about to be married, or were planting a vineyard, or were afraid, he told to go home again, as the law allowed. Don't believe that. The column then marched off and took up a position south of Emmaus. Stand to your arms, Judas told them. Acquit yourselves bravely in the morning to ready to fight these Gentiles massed against us to destroy us and our sanctuary. Better for us to die in battle than to watch the ruin of our nation and our holy place. Whatever be the will of heaven, he will perform it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not getting this. Okay, all right. Whatever's going to happen next. But my gosh, does this sound right? So, those who were in the middle of building a house, that was more important than the safety of their country, or were about to be married. Well, weren't there a lot of married men in that army as well? Or were planting a vineyard. Huh? What's so important about wine at that time? Just saying. Or were afraid they could go home. All right. That's according to the law. What law? What law is that? All right. Look. This is all just seems like such surface stuff. Everything. It's I thought this was the Bible. You want to write a history book about all the wars and stuff like that? Okay? Well, then do that. Why is this in the Bible? I'm not getting it. Oh, because the miracle's going to happen here. Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. You know, I've no doubt that at the time when all this was recorded or written down, okay, a lot of it was only read by whom? Men. Yes? What kind of men? Farmers? Ranchers? Just people who had regular jobs even at that time to do what? Huh? Or by whom? Now today, well, guess what? I'm a woman. I'm an educated woman. Most women out there now know how to write and read, right? Yes, most. I said most. I know it's kind of unbelievable. Some countries still have illiteracy. Oh, is it important to write and read? I don't know. Is it? Just because you can write and read, right, doesn't mean you got enough food on the table, a roof over your head. Just saying, right? So, okay. Kind of sad to think this was just written for the few. Sounds like it was just written for the few, not for all of mankind. And then, is that why then we're also made to believe that God, our Heavenly Parent, only cares for the few? There's only so many that will go into heaven. People actually believe that, 114,000 or whatever. Are you serious? Only the selected few. Only if. Only this. Only that. Really? So that means we haven't really gotten any much further than these people here. Just saying. Anywho, so this is not enough for me to. Oh, yeah, sure. This is God's word. It's supposed to be God's word. Very little I found of God's word in here so far. When you dig a little deeper, huh? Not just take what was on the outside. Or don't disregard what is on the outside actually happening. And on how you're being told with supposed depth something else. Well, what are you going to do? Believe or not believe, right? Okay. Well, again, to say this, I'm doing this for the reputation of God, our Heavenly Parent, the Creator, the artist of it all. And very sad for me to see how he's continuously pulled into stuff that, sorry, don't believe that. Don't believe for a minute, not a second, not a millisecond, that God had anything to do with this. None at all. The people just conveniently pulled out the book of the law when it was convenient, when they needed it. Yes? Okay. And I have no doubt that then if things didn't work out, which we know, from bad to worse, well, tell us about that. Anywho, so there it is. That's all I have to say on this one for now. Oh, I'm going to have a lazy weekend. Oh my gosh. How blessed am I to be able to have a lazy weekend. Pretend I'm not going to be here. I say that, right? I can't not open the door if somebody comes to visit, right? Yes. And then, of course, I'll make the best out of the visit. But I would really like to have a couple of days of just nothing. Just this give and take. Oh, I'm so selfish. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. That's all I have to share this morning. Do I have things to do? No, absolutely not. Do I have some cleaning to do? Yes, absolutely. But do I have to do it today? No, it could wait. It can wait. I just do it as I feel like getting into it. Yes, I can do that. Yeah. It's great. Oh. Praying for everybody out there that we make good choices. Yes. And give the whole story a chance. And if we're not getting the whole story, just step back and say, I can't be a part of any of this unless I'm getting the whole story. Do I need to be a part of all this? You got committees out there. You got physicians out there. You got the people who are out there competing this and that. Take a vote. Isn't that what democracy is all about? Just saying. So, there it is. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you and embrace you with love. And I will talk to you all tomorrow.